Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please take a second to click the like button if you like this video or hit the thumbs down if you don't. Also, if you enjoy the contents of this channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get PTCGO code cards. Are you looking to complete your Pokemon card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. Please use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so you can get a 5% discount. Help yourself out with the discount, and thank you for helping support the content I create in this channel and for helping out PTCGO. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at GENGAR VMAX from the Fusion Strike set, and we're pairing this with Deoxys. Why do these two cards have such good synergy? I will explain. But first, let's take a look at the cards, starting with GENGAR V. GENGAR V has 210 HP, 2 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to fighting. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Dark Slumber. For 2 dark energy, it will deal 40 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon becomes asleep. This attack is actually great for stalling, given that your opponent's Pokemon stays asleep between checkup. Its second attack is Pain Explosion. For 3 dark energy, it will deal 190 damage, after which you have to put 3 damage counter on this Pokemon. Its Gigantamax form is GENGAR VMAX. It has 320 HP with 3 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to fighting. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Fear and Panic. For 2 dark energy, this attack does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon V or Pokemon GX in play. This attack can be very strong, but it is reliant on your opponent's setup, and this attack does absolutely nothing against one prizer builds. Its second attack is G-Max Swallow Up. For 3 dark energy, it will deal 250 damage, and this Pokemon cannot attack on your next turn. This attack is very powerful, and since Gengar is a single strike Pokemon, it has access to single strike energy, which increases its attack by 20 for each of these attached. So technically, if you have 4 single strike energies, Gengar can deal as much as 330 damage with this attack. And for good measure, I've also added a couple of copies of Vitality Band, which can help increase the attack by another 10 damage. Also, because Gengar cannot attack on your next turn, pivoting out of the active is very important, which is why I've included a full set of Switch to this build, and also a full set of the Hiding Energy, which gives our dark Pokemon with this equipped with 0 retreat cost. GENGAR V and GENGAR VMAX is really great right now, especially Mew VMAX has been top tier in the competitive scene lately, and Mew VMAX has weakness to dark types. Although one very significant drawback to GENGAR VMAX right now is its weakness to fighting, and despite Mew VMAX's advantage, many players are still playing strong builds for Rapid Strike and Single Strike URSHIFU VMAXes, which is why I think the inclusion of the Triple Strike style Deoxys is great for this build, because it gives this build an advantage over those matchups as well. Because if you didn't know, URSHIFU VMAXes are weak against Psychic types. Deoxys is a fusion, single, and rapid strike Pokemon all in one. It has 120 HP, 1 retreat cost, minus 30 resistance to fighting, and is weak to dark. And it has 1 attack, Photon Boost. For 3 colorless energy, it will deal 80 plus damage, but if it has a fusion strike energy attached to it, it will deal 160 damage instead. So with an added single strike energy to increase its attack even further, this attack can pretty much one-hit KO any URSHIFU VMAX because you're hitting for weakness. I did include 2 copies of Fusion Strike energies in this build just for Deoxys attack. We can energize our single strike Pokemon with the help of Houndoom. It has the single strike roar ability, which allows you to find a single strike energy from your deck and you attach it to one of your single strike Pokemon, after which you put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. As for consistency, I'm using Snorlax with the Gormandise ability and 1 copy of Crobat V for its Dark Acid ability, and that extra drawing power really does help. As for the other cards worth noting, I also have Urn of Vitality, so we can recover our single strike energies from the discard pile back to the deck. Tower of Darkness Stadium is also really helpful. If you discard a single strike card, you draw 2 cards. And since we are using only special energies in this build, just in case we encounter Duraludon VMAX, which is immune to Pokemon with special energy, Path to the Peak Stadium can just shut off that ability. And in case we encounter Persist Sting Beedrill users, I've added a copy of Big Parasol, which nullifies effects of attacks. And I also included the Scroll of the Skies. This can be equipped by Deoxys. This allows Deoxys to use the attack Grav Drop for 1 Lighting and 1 Colorless energy. It will deal 10 damage and 50 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. That Lighting energy can be paid with the help of the Fusion Strike energy. And I also added Scroll of Scorn, which could help Gengar VMAX to use an attack for just 1 energy. This will allow Gengar V or VMAX to use the attack Furious Anger for 1 fighting energy. It will deal 10 damage and 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. And that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description. Do let me know what you think of Gengar VMAX and Deoxys combo in the comments below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos. Alright, we're going to go first in this matchup. And we're going to start off with a Deoxys to go into the active. And we have a Fusion Strike energy, so that's really good. I have a Quick Ball, Professor's Research so we can draw into more cards, and a Gengar V from our top deck, so that's really good. And I'm just going to start setting up my Houndoom line, attach this energy. And maybe with the Professor's Research on our next turn, we can get a Houndoom, accelerate an energy, and maybe find another energy so we can knock out this URSHIFU V in with one go. So it really depends on what cards we draw on our next turn. But that's where we're at. Especially these URSHIFU VMAXes or these URSHIFU Vs are weak against Deoxys typing. So we definitely have an advantage over this, but we do have to set up. The only thing with Deoxys is that it only has 120 HP. And so really, URSHIFU VMAX can knock it out easily. We do get a Houndoom, but now we are at a loss. We don't have any drawing cards to help us get another energy. So we're going to have to find out what we get here on our next turn. But they're just going to strafe, but Deoxys is resistant to fighting, so we don't get any damage, and they're not going to switch out. We do get a Deoxys from the top deck again, but not much else. I will accelerate 1 energy, I think, to the one on the bench, because this is a really tight spot for me. Because now if they can evolve into an URSHIFU VMAX, get another energy, they can just wipe out both our Deoxys this turn. Yeah, so they're probably just gonna knock out both our Deoxys, and that's gonna be it. No, they're just gonna attack because they have Memory Capsule. They're just gonna attack our Deoxys, but now they can just easily knock it out. Let me stall here. I'll just accelerate 1 more energy to this Deoxys, and I'll just pass. You know, this is a really bad turn that we got. That Marnie really did us in, and it just really got us really bad cards. They can accelerate their active. If they can switch this, then they're only gonna deal 30 damage. They're probably gonna switch back to their URSHIFU VMAX. But we are resistance again, so we don't get any damage, and they're just gonna pass. Okay. We do get a Quick Ball, so this gives us a chance to get Crobat, actually. Hopefully this gets us better cards this turn. That draws us 4 cards. Still no drawing cards, but still we got a few energies that could help us. I could use the Fusion Strike energy to increase Deoxys attack, but it's just going to get knocked out anyways, and it will be waste. And it deals 80, 90, 100. If we just accelerate 1 more Single Strike energy, we can knock out this active. And what I'm going to do is just start accelerating my Gengar V for my next turn. And I'll just play Path to the Peak, Single Strike Roar, and then we're just going to knock out their active. And even with that Stone energy, we should be able to knock it out for 260 damage. So there you have it. We have at least... We were able to knock out 1, and all we have to do is worry about 1 more. And even if they use their G-Max Rapid Flow to knock out our active for sure, it's not going to knock out our other Pokemon, which is really nice. And they're just going to target our Houndoom, which is actually okay with me. So I'll accelerate my Gengar V, but you know, they don't have any energies right now. So we could actually stall here a little bit, do some chip damage with Gengar V. I'll just use Dark Slumber. I don't want to evolve into a Gengar VMAX just yet. They are gonna wake up though, because if I do that, they can get 3 prizes easily. Because Gengar VMAX is weak against fighting, and if they switch out of the active and pivot back, even if they use Gale Thrust, they can knock out my Gengar VMAX by dealing 300 damage because they are hitting for weakness. So I think that first attack does chip damage, and they're not gonna knock out our Gengar V, which is actually really good. And since we have Houndoom to evolve into, we also have Evolution Incense. All I have to do is evolve into a Gengar VMAX, and we should be able to deal enough damage to knock out this Rapid Strike URSHIFU VMAX. So let's go ahead and do that, evolve, and we're just gonna accelerate. We have 1 energy in the discard pile, so we have 2 in the deck. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll just Gmax Swallow up here. That's all we need for 290 damage, knocking out this Rapid Strike URSHIFU VMAX. So there we get 3 prizes from that. And they have 2 Pokemon left, and we have a lot of Switch on hand, so all we have to do is pivot out. We have the Hiding Energy to retreat back and pivot with our Switch, and we can just attack and knock out one of their other Pokemon to win this game. And that's going to be game. There you have it. There's a scoop. Good game. Alright, moving on to our next match. My opponent will go first. And I'm going to start off with the Snorlax. It's going to help us draw into more cards. I could use Marnie, thin out my hand to 5, and then we can draw more cards that way. We need to set up more basics on our bench though. So what you want to do is actually set up your Houndooms. Houndoom lines as much as you can. And everything else follows. You don't have to play Deoxys right away. Gengar's our main attacker for this build, but you do have to think about whether or not Deoxys will be a good Pokemon to use an attacker depending on the matchup. So use Deoxys wisely, use it only when you need it. And actually, since it only gives up 1 prize card, you can actually use it that way. So attack for a huge amount of damage and then give up only 1 prize. And then you can pivot into Gengar VMAX and finish off the Pokemon. So we're up against a Leafeon VMAX build here. A really strong start for our opponent. Now it has enough energy to attack, and we really need to speed up our setup here. So I will just use Professor's Research. We do get a Houndour and also a Deoxys. We have no other choice but to actually play these 2. And I'm just going to thin out my hand as much as I can, and I'll just Gormandize. I saved the Evolution Incense because we need that to get Houndoom, but we do get it from our Gormandize anyways, and also a Gengar V, which is really great. So they were able to bump out the path to the peak, but it didn't really matter because they don't have any other ability users on their side, and they're just gonna Marnie us. Hopefully we don't break here. Marnie, I really do get scared with Marnie. Sometimes it's good for you, sometimes it's not. Although we do get another Deoxys and a Snorlax, but they're going to be able to knock out our Snorlax because now it has 5 retreat cost. It deals 300 damage, which is insane. So now I have no choice but to put my Deoxys in the active. We have a Hiding Energy, so let me attach this. You know what? That's the only thing though, is that the Hiding Energy only works for dark type Pokemon. So we are gonna lose another Pokemon here, dealing 180 damage to our Deoxys, and we have really no other choice. So I'm just gonna have to pivot into Snorlax to use its Gormandize ability, drawing 2 more cards. I'll just accelerate my Deoxys, and I'll just Gormandize here. Our setup is really bad. That Marnie again kind of messed us up a little bit. So it's just the way it is, man. The randomness of the cards that you draw into can mean the whole game sometimes. So it really depends on the RNG could be very favorable for you as the one who uses Marnie. But sometimes you could brick even if you're the one who's using Marnie. So it's like a two-edged sword. It can disrupt your opponent, but sometimes it can help them out. Okay, so yeah, let me just go ahead and get my Deoxys in the active once more. At least we can evolve into a Houndoom. I can attack here and do a little bit of chip damage on their Leafeon. So let me just accelerate this energy here. Get that back with our Urn of Vitality. And then I will discard the boss, get a Crobat. Maybe I can thin out my hand further before I use it. Let me get rid of this. Get a Gengar V. And then use Crobat. Use Crobat before using Path to the Peak, because I do that all the time, even to this day. We do get a Fusion Strike energy, so that's gonna increase our attack even further to 180 damage. So that's not too bad. Now it's within knockout range when we use our Gengar VMAX. Hopefully we have two chances here. I can use Tower of Darkness to draw into more cards, as well as Professor's Research. So hopefully they don't boss any of our other Pokemon. But even if they do, we can just knock out this Leafeon VMAX. We have a boss's order. So if they decide to retreat their Leafeon VMAX to the other one, we'll just use boss, put it back into the active, and then we can get 3 prizes for that. There's the boss's order. If they boss my Gengar, they could potentially knock it out. There's the boss. Man, yeah, Leafeon VMAX is actually really good. I did showcase this in my videos, and yeah, it's very consistent, especially with the Shady Dealings engine. It's really good. They're gonna use Grass Knot, but they're not enough to knock out our Gengar V, so we do get a chance to kind of get out of this situation. Let's see. I need to retreat my Gengar V because it's in danger right now, and if I can just get my Deoxys into the active, I can potentially... Okay, we got to switch, so that's really good. So let me switch Deoxys into the active, and maybe I can start setting up my Gengar V anyways. And I'll just use Professor's Research. Okay, cool. So we can actually start attaching energy to our Gengar. Maybe that can come in handy later on. Then I can set up another... oh, we don't have any more energies in the deck, though. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, even if I set up a Houndoom, I mean... Yeah, let me just do that. Yeah, our Urn of we're all out of Urn of Vitalities, so we can't recover any more single strike energies. So let me just finish off this Leafeon VMAX anyways to get our 3 prizes. Ooh, we get a single strike energy, so that's really good. But we can't accelerate that with Houndoom, so that's not good. I can put Hiding Energy on Gengar V, but if only we had Marnie, we can put that single strike energy back to the deck, and then we can power up our Gengar. Maybe evolve into a Gengar VMAX even, and I don't know if that's enough power to knock out their Leafeon VMAX. That's the only thing. So we're dealing 250, 290 damage. I'll be dealing 290 damage with Gengar VMAX. With two single strike energy, but they are gonna Marnie us, and that could actually be useful for us. So now we can accelerate 1 single strike energy to our Gengar V, and we have Professor's Research, which can help us get those cards back. They are at the bottom of the deck, but I could probably use Quick Ball to shuffle our cards again and have a higher chance of getting that onto our hand with the help of Professor's research. So you're going to start setting up another Leafeon VMAX line here. And they just have such an easy access to their trainer cards, especially with the Shady Dealings engine. They're not going to attack. They don't have energy, I guess. So we do survive another turn. So let me accelerate another energy here to Gengar. And then I'm just going to shuffle my deck. Get Houndour, put that here. And then I might as well attach that to Deoxys. And I think we have enough firepower to knock out this Leafeon VMAX, actually. We just need that hiding energy from the deck. And sure enough, we got it. And the Aloe will just attach that, evolve into a Houndoom. We'll evolve into Gengar VMAX, and we should be able to knock out this guy. No, we don't. Oh, no. I miscounted. Let's see, 250, 290. Oh, yeah, it only does 300 damage. We needed one more. Oh, dude, the hiding energy puts our retreat cost to 0. Dude, that's insane. But you know what? Deoxys will finish off this Leafeon VMAX for the win. Unbelievable. We got away with the skin of our teeth there, man. Good game. Alright, moving on to the next match. I will be able to go first this time. And we're going to mulligan. There's no Pokemon to be seen on our first cards here. Alright, we get a Snorlax and also a Houndour, which is really nice. Got a Quick Ball also. Maybe we can set up a Gengar or something like that. And we are up against a Single Strike URSHIFU. So I think I can actually get a Deoxys out and be able to build that up right away. We can even knock out this URSHIFU because the best they can do during their turn is to accelerate an energy to URSHIFU, and then they're just gonna charge up their URSHIFU with more energies. And by that time we have Houndoom on hand anyways. We also have Professor's Research. So we can grab another energy. Hopefully we can draw into an energy. Accelerate that to Deoxys. Accelerate another energy. Single Strike energy with Houndoom. We should be able to attack on our next turn. They do hammer, but they were unsuccessful with that. So we should be able to knock out this URSHIFU. They don't have any more basic energy on their deck. So that's alright. And good thing they have a Tower of Darkness, which we could use also. So I'll just accelerate an energy to my Deoxys, and I'll use Professor's Research, sacrifice all of my cards, just so we can get an energy. Sure enough, we got a Fusion Strike energy. That will increase our attack to 180 damage times 2 against this Single Strike URSHIFU. So not too bad on our second turn, man. Dealing 360 damage. Knocking it out. So now they don't have an attacker at this of this moment, and they don't have any Houndoom line set up either, which they actually really need to help accelerate energy to their Umbreon V at this point. They're gonna use Boss, and they're gonna Boss Houndoom. Okay. Let's see. Let me use Evolution Incense. We don't have any threat right now, so I think it is safe to evolve my Gengar. And then I'll just use Professor's Research. We have a lot of energies here, so we should be able to survive another turn here. So I think we have no way of retreating our Houndoom as of right now, so I'm just gonna pass and see what my opponent does. They're gonna Marnie, okay. If we can get a switch, that would be nice. That puts our Single Strike energy back to the deck, so now Houndoom can accelerate that. And there's the switch, dude, sure enough. Good thing we have a full set of switch in this build, which is actually really necessary for this Gengar VMAX build, because after Gengar uses that G-Max attack, it cannot attack the next turn, and you'll need to switch out. So the combination between the hiding energy and the switch is actually really important. I'm just going to accelerate in energy. They evolved into Umbreon VMAX, but that doesn't work because there's path to the peak. And I'm just going to switch into Deoxys, and that's going to be enough damage to deal 200 damage, knocking out their Umbreon V. So Deoxys is actually doing all the work here. And yeah, there's the scoop, man. Quick game. Good game. Gengar VMAX is really strong. It has the potential to one-hit KO any Pokemon in the game, and it has a strong typing within the current meta, especially with Mew VMAX being such a powerful card right now. And with the addition of Deoxys in this build, it makes it possible for Gengar VMAX to face off against Rapid Strike URSHIFU VMAX or Single Strike URSHIFU VMAX with more confidence, knowing that despite its weakness to fighting, this build also has an advantage over those matchups. Overall, this build is fairly consistent, although it could be better. It also has a well-rounded design, allowing Gengar VMAX to have a good fighting chance against almost all matchups, which makes this build really good in my opinion. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.